My dad took me camping growing up all the time. There are camping trips that I don't even remember because I was too young. No offense.
Makes sense. I was trying to figure out what you meant by that, and I was like, oh, don't have a dad.
What do you consider a tree?
A tree?
What do you consider a plant?
A plant?
But you don't consider a tree a plant.
No.
Why?
Because it's a tree?
What?
I mean, do you consider yourself like...
A fish?
Like, no, I'm sorry. Let me...
I'm such a loser, sweating God, I'm the worst.
Welcome back to the Woodsmen podcast. We're your hosts, Brent Murphy.
And Joey Rucker.
And man, I think it's fair to say that when we chose this podcast name, we weren't really thinking through how we were going to theme our topics to this podcast. We didn't really realize we would be covering such a wide variety of topics like we do and having as much fun as we do when we talk about them, to be honest. I think we've constantly talked about how the woods has held a special place in both of our hearts, and I think it's finally long time that we do an episode on our favorite place. What do you think?
I absolutely agree. I'm so excited.
Well, all I can say is let's dive in to our favorite place and our call into the wild.
So we're finally doing it. Finally talking about the woods. How long has it taken? What is this, episode 16?
How long has it taken year-wise? Because you got to remember, we started this way longer than...
Yeah, we started, January of 23, technically? Like, when we officially... Well, no. Technically
That's what I mean.
What, 2021, I think?
Yeah.
Was the OGs? Wow. This podcast is old.
Yeah, I know, man. To think we don't even have 20 episodes out yet, but...
I think we're starting to go at a great pace, though.
And I think we're producing good quality, too.
Oh, I think so, too. I mean, I think we've been doing so much better at not spending every episode talking about, what we've done new for the setup.
Yeah.
I remember the first, 6 episodes, every episode we were like, guess what we did this week? We got a camera. It's stuff like that.
I mean, we still have goals, but, now we're just all right, let's focus on the content, push out the content, and then let the new stuff speak for itself at this point, So
yeah, and I think it's been working really well, and I think you're right. I think it definitely shows. But yeah, we've been working hard, going at it strong for months now. It's the end of April as of the time we're recording this, almost over, and we've still, other than 1 week.
Well, this will be out May.
Yeah, this one will be out in May.
Yeah.
Our first episode in May, but we've been recording every week aside from 1 week throughout all of those, and we've been pushing it, and we've been doing it.
We have.
And yet somehow throughout all of those weeks and all those months of recording episodes, still have not once talked about the woods.
Not at all. Besides scary Bigfoot things or 411 things. 411. I don't know how to say
our
it.
original 411 episode, because I thought we had a whole episode on that. That one was lost. We had a whole we should do
you're right.
The 411 one was lost, but we've still talked about. No, dude, we had a good one too. You remember that one? That one we had the talk about the family who died from heat stroke.
Yeah, and the dog.
Yeah, and the dog
too.
The
dog too. They all just happened to die of heat stroke. All the same thing.
But
okay,
we can't,
whatever.
We're not going to go down that rabbit hole today, because
maybe we should have.
Instead of going through the idea of aliens and Bigfoot and 411 cases, we thought it would be fun to kind of take a step back and really talk about why we wanted to call ourselves the Woodsman Podcast. And the woods have always meant a lot to us, truly. I mean, it definitely has me. I know you've grown up with it.
Yeah.
Why you laugh at me?
It's just funny when I think it's the one thing you don't really know too much about where I stand. Or where it all started.
I don't know if I know where it started. Yeah. but I know we've both had our upbringings in it, so we'll definitely get into some of our upbringings.
Well, I mean, like, not to give away where we live, but we live pretty close to the mountains.
Yeah.
So it's very accessible for us to just pick up and go,
Yeah.
you know, and enjoy the scenery, as they say. So
Yeah, exactly. And I'm sure we're going to get into like how we both sort of individually got into our love for nature and love for the woods, but as good fans, chat knows, and we've mentioned it many times on this podcast, we like to consider our spirit animals, mine personally being a bear, and yours
a wolf.
and if you couldn't tell that by the freaking everything that we've done,
Everything we have branded ourselves with.
we have like
We have short but branded ourselves literally with a bear or a wolf. So
everything. Like the clink sound effect we have, Huey and Martin, like
which we don't show but are here.
They're there. Every episode, Martin has made an appearance. His little toesies are right there. But
Spotify, I'm pointing.
Thank you for remembering. Thank you for remembering.
Yes,
but,
yes.
Yeah. So with that said, we've always sort of. I mean, I can't like again. We'll probably get to your upbringing too with the wolf thing, but I've definitely always been attached to bears. Like, I don't know what it is about them. I just think they're so cool. And I know it's like funny that like I'm the bigger guy. I like to sleep a lot. Like there's like the joking reasons why I can relate to bears, but like I don't know, they're also such cool creatures. They really are. Like
they're beautiful. They're like beautiful, mysterious creatures that like somehow like have habits like humans, you know, and I think that's so interesting. Just any animal in general having their own habits, but specifically one that big.
And wolves have a lot of crazy personalities too, which is wild.
Yeah.
I find it insane how fast bears are. Like
for how big they are just they're booking it, bro.
Fast.
And you think climbing a tree is saving you?
Nah.
Have fun, bro.
Good luck.
Have fun. You better be able to climb it faster.
Yeah, I've always thought in my head, and I know this is so irrational, but I've always thought that if a bear was chasing me and I was in like a dense forest, we're talking like trees everywhere.
What, you could hide from it?
No. I'm saying that I have this intrusive thought that if I can bob and weave through enough trees. I'm not talking like I make one turn around a tree. He's still coming. I'm saying like
very
you
distinctive.
Turn left around a tree and then you dip right around another one. He's going to like get discombobulated.
It's all in the knees. You got to throw him off his rhythm.
When in all reality, we both know that my knees are just going to buckle on the first turn.
You're going to break your own ankles and fall down the mountain like you have done many a time.
Many times I have fallen down a large hill.
It's okay. But we all have our...
I mean, speaking of, a bear attacking you, I have a couple fun stories, fun, that I brought to the table for us to listen to and hear.
Aren't they all?
And these are specifically bear attacks. Fun, right? Real joyous.
What a joyous occasion.
Positive little story that I have prepared.
I mean, hey, bro, they got bear attacks in the Bible. I mean...
Oh, my God. I should have brought that one to the table.
I'm surprised you didn't.
Oh, dude, I forgot.
It's like my favorite. It's my favorite text in the Bible.
Anything too specific. I was just kind of like going and finding a couple stories that intrigued me. I totally forgot that one existed. That one's so good. I mean, it's... Well...
To paraphrase.
Yeah, you tell the story better because you know it better than I do. You should give like just a little sneak peek at that one, and then I'll jump into.
All right. I mean, like a small little 2-sentence summary. Bro, his name was like Elijah or Elisha. I don't know which one it was.
I don't know either.
Anyone can correct me, but bro was traveling. he arrived on boat on the land, so he gets up on shore, and a whole bunch of like kids come up and they start mocking him and like calling him bald, like ha 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 baldy, like like some like dumb like little kid like little things, and apparently bro just like prayed to God, and God was like, all right, don't worry bro, I got you. And 2 bears came out of the woods and mauled all 42 children.
Just killed them all.
Yeah, that's it. That's the story. That there's no other like that's just one little chunk of a chapter.
What do you think the lesson is?
Don't
make fun of people's baldness.
I mean, I guess that's as good as a lesson as any, bro. I mean, don't you agree?
I mean, it definitely reminds me not to make fun of people's insecurities and stuff.
Yeah.
I still do, and I haven't.
Male pattern baldness is real, dude.
It's true. You've been afraid.
I've been terrified of balding since I was like, I don't know, like 14.
Yeah, I feel like growing up, you always used to mention like throughout every age, you were like, it's gonna happen, bro, and I'm not ready. You're always like, look at my hairline, and I was like, your hairline's fine, and you're like, I'm going bald.
I'm going bald. It's over.
What?
It's over. Don't worry, chat. That has not changed. I'm 24 years old. That's 10 years. 10 years into the future, I still do it every day. But
which is funny because you have like good hair. Like
it's fine. I keep telling myself if it happens, my first line of defense, go to Turkey for the hair follicle transplant.
Oh, I was like, go to Turkey. What?
Yeah, go to town on a turkey myself. Just one turkey, one me eating the whole turkey.
that should cure my baldness.
That should cure the baldness real good.
Oh my god, yeah. So
bear attacks.
Bear attacks.
Yeah.
Let's dive right in. I have 2 stories that I'm going to tell you. The first one is about a man named Bob Lagassa, I believe, and this took place in October of 2018.
Oh, so
pretty recent.
More recent?
Yeah.
Not pretty recent, like 6 years, but
still, yeah, but like 6. Oh man, 6 years. Every time I think back to 2018, it makes me sad.
Yeah, it was a tragic time in your life, huh?
It was a rough year.
Man, should have saved that for the relationships episode last week.
Yeah, nah, we ain't trying to bash people or be spiteful. We've moved. We're good people now.
You were about to say we've moved on, but you're just still a little petty.
Nah, I'm not petty. I don't care. I literally don't care enough that I just want to move back onto bears. Because bears are a much more interesting topic.
That's facts.
So
that's facts.
This happened in Montana. And this guy was basically going out hunting with a couple of his buddies. I forget if it was him and a couple people, but it may have just been him and like one friend mainly that day. But I think like overall during the trip, it was like a group of people. But they were basically out and they were hunting elk. While they were out, they basically found this area where there was like a large opening where they found like a decent like flock of elk. Is it flock?
Herd
of elk?
Is it? Maybe herd. Might be a herd of elk.
It's definitely not flock.
A lot of elk.
It was a lot of elk.
It was a lot of elk.
That's a good one. I like. It was a lot of them.
It was a lot of them, dude.
But they basically found this area where they were kind of maintaining their general spot. And
domain.
Him and his buddy, I don't know the buddy's name, but I do know that the main guy's name is Bob Lagassa, so I'm just going to refer to him and his friend. They found an area, like a small sage bush, or brush, area where like the grass and the weeds and stuff were like varying in sizes. So there was a lot of room to hide. So they
could go prone.
Get pretty close to them, exactly.
PUBG.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And they were trying to look for like a closer place to get advantage because they were close, but it wasn't really like quite a good enough shot. And so and this is as quick as it sounds, life can just change.
Oh no.
You know?
That's the worst way to go into a segue. That's the worst way.
That's what I find as I've looked up some of these stories about bear attacks is like
And everything changed.
in a moment. Like it's just
And in a flash.
yeah, so the way the guy described this was that he only took a couple steps forward in order to like get a closer eye on the elk that he was staring at.
Okay.
Dude sees a cub. And you know.
Oh.
I don't think it's even that scary seeing a bear as it is seeing a cub.
Yeah.
Don't you think like
because you ain't getting out. You're not getting. It's not letting you out. You're done. You're done.
Over for you.
It's fight or die.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
it.
And so, pretty much as fast as this cub appeared out of nowhere, Mama Bear came and ran straight at him out of like the brush, which is what sucks because the brush was like like I mentioned and he mentioned when I was looking this up was a really good way of hiding. And it wasn't just for them to hide either, because this is how the bears would hunt the elk too. So, Mama Bear they can hunt elk, can't they? Do they not?
They're not.
I know elks are big ass.
They're not carnivores.
Bears?
They eat berries and fish.
Fish is not. Fish is meat.
Fish is fish.
Oh my God. Are we gonna do this? Don't throw something like this at me now. If you want to talk about the woods, let's talk about trees.
That debate.
Debate, it's the same thing. Fish, I don't and this is just me personally, because I know that in like I think the dietary food chain, like the food pyramid, that I think fish don't actually fall into the same category as meat with like pork and beef and chicken.
Yeah, it doesn't.
But in my mind, I think that's ridiculous.
Why?
Because it's just meat, but in water. They have lungs. They have a skeleton. They have meat.
Do you consider shrimp and crustaceans like lobster and all that?
I think they're meat too. They're just meat, but they're kind of like the beetles of the ocean. They're like cockroaches of the ocean. Now, that's not a good argument because no, I don't think that insects are meat. Your face was dumbstruck. You were genuinely like, am I hearing this guy right?
Am I?
Listen, the point being, and this is probably going to have a follow-up in the next episode, I think it's stupid that fish is not considered meat. I don't understand it. Why is it not meat to you?
Because it's fish. It's not land meat.
What do you consider a tree?
A tree?
What do you consider a plant?
A plant?
But you don't consider a tree a plant.
No.
Why?
Because it's a tree? That's sound logic, bro.
What the f***? I'm so angry right now. I am so frustrated. I don't even care. I'm getting off it.
You got your one bleep for the episode.
There you go.
And
I don't care. You know, whatever. Chat, let me, not this guy. Let me know down below where you stand. Please tell me if there's anyone out there who sees my point of view. sees what I'm saying, that like fish are just another form of meat. It's whatever. But I'm sorry.
You're another form of meat.
Yeah. I'm not denying that.
So are you a fish?
What?
I mean, do you consider yourself like
a fish?
Like no. I'm sorry. Let me. My bad. Like, would you consider your meat the equivalent to like fish meat?
No, but I don't consider fish meat the same as beef meat. I don't consider beef the same as chicken. I don't consider chicken the same as pork. It's all just different kinds of meat.
Interesting. Well, all right. So bear attacks. So
Bear attacks.
bro got rammed.
Yeah.
Do you have any information about what happened to him?
Yes. I'm sorry. I'm coming down. So anyway, he basically tried to intimidate it by like immediately going for screaming and yelling and waving his arms.
That's a bad idea with a mom. She's already mad. She's not gonna stop.
It's a bad idea with a mom, but I'll also say both stories that I chose to bring to the table today had to do with grizzlies, which is another thing. You're not it's not the same method. You're either supposed to stand your ground and hope that they're doing a mock run,
but that's if they're
that's also not a mom case. Like, it's different. So
when it's a mom case, it's over, dude.
Yeah,
they're gonna grab you and
no matter
scalp you, bro, like the Revenant.
So this guy, I did want to mention, because I didn't bring the Revenant as a story, but I also think that's another movie chat should go and definitely watch one day.
Based on a true story. So if you want to look it up, the dude did survive, and yeah.
And we've mentioned him on here before, so again, reiterating, go check that out.
That's a 10 out of 10 movie.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Sure.
But so the guy's flailing his arms. He's trying to like block at the claws so that it's not hitting any vital areas like his neck or his like lungs or heart.
Oh,
Mama bear
arms,
then stands up on its hind legs, like immediately stops pouncing him, stands up. Imagine how big a grizzly is, right? So you just see this thing towering above you.
Nah.
He kind of thinks that maybe it's going to back off and run away because of it.
No.
But then the bear, and imagine this, bro. Imagine this with me. The bear falls down, stands next to him. Face is right next to his face. He can see the bears like at him. Like, I would be mortified. And so
I would probably just die. Like,
yeah, at some point you accept it, because I'm not as strong as the Revenant. I'd be done.
I'd be like, I can't fight back. I can't. I can't do it.
So basically, the only reason this guy survived was because in that moment when the bear lands right next to him and has like full opportunity to just eat his head, his friend, who also got knocked down during the push, he managed to get his bear spray out.
Oh, nice.
Sprays the bear in the eyes, which then causes the mom to like run out into the brush and like get out of there. And actually, apparently he found out later that was the reason that the bear stood up in the first place, was because he didn't notice it from the adrenaline and being attacked and stuff, but his friend sprayed it the first time, which got it up on his back leg, back legs.
Yeah.
And then basically when she ran off, his face was bloody, and he even said, can you imagine doing this to yourself? He accidentally got hit by his own bear spray because after the mom started running, he immediately tries to get his out for more protection.
No, so bro's like bloody and like
hits him in the face,
and has spray in the face. Just, oh my gosh, what?
And he basically, one of the last things he said was that one of the things that really truly scared him the most was actually how fast it was. Like, and that's what we were talking about a second ago. But he got lucky. He survived. I don't have many details about his recovery, but he had to get like metal plates put in his arm to heal like some of the wounds, and so many stitches. It like cut his eyelid open, but he got extremely lucky in the end for surviving that. So that's my first one. So pretty nuts.
Wow. Yeah. I could not I mean, anything involving grizzly attacks are just, you're done. They're
so scary. They're so intimidating. Okay, little question before we move on to my final story. What do you think is more intimidating? Like a pack of wolves, we'll say 3 or 4, and they're hungry and angry, and they're circling you in the dark. Or,
oh my gosh,
doesn't matter what time of day, but like I'm talking full-grown grizzly mama. So whatever like the biggest strength bear there is out there, like as far as common strength goes, but it's a mama with her cubs. Which one's worse? Pack of wolves that are hungry, haven't eaten in a couple days, circling you, or a mama bear with her cubs? Big mama. What are you personally more terrified of?
Probably the mama, bro. To be honest, because when it comes to the babies,
you don't mess with it.
Everything goes. Like, they do not care. Like, at least with the wolf pack, they're smart. They're intelligent animals. If I'm not messing with them, I just don't see them, like, finding me being the prey. Mm-hmm. Like, especially if I'm, like, I don't know. Like, they're just smart like that. But when you go messing with the babies, bro, that's just, like, you're done. Yeah. Like, you're not getting out of it.
That's a battle you don't want to fight.
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm good.
All right, well, I have one more story for you, and then I have a special, like, thing about this towards the end. This story takes place in Alaska. I'm not sure exactly what year this took place, but it was about a woman who survived 5 days in the wilderness while having been attacked multiple times throughout those 5 days.
Bro, what?
Mm-hmm. This story... I have the river named somewhere down the line, so I'll name it when I get to it. I forgot to write it at the beginning, so just know that they're by a big
You're
river.
Good, bro.
But, this story is about a woman named Blair Williams.
The Blair Witch?
Blair Witch Project. And she was basically doing this documentary wildlife... what is the word I'm looking for? Documentary, I guess. She was basically just studying nature, taking a lot of photos and videos and studying it.
Documenting it.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So it was a special project where basically she would stay 3 days on her own in the wilderness in this mobile home thing that was given to her for this project.
Little trailer action.
Yeah, exactly. She had like food and water in this mobile home that would basically last her all 3 days. It even had it had electricity, it had electronics, nothing wild, but like she could turn on the TV to watch like a movie if she had some stuff like that.
Well, I'm going to tell you right there. She has her food in the same place she is sleeping. We've watched Alone, bro. That's a no-go. That's a no-go. Your kitchen needs to be at a different second location.
Yep. Nope. You're thinking smarter than she is.
Bear win.
Bear win. No, yeah. So she... I'm sorry, yes. So she also did have bear spray, and she had rifles. She had a spear, and she also had a flare gun.
She was strapped up.
They were, like, she was decked out and, like, ready for if there was trouble.
Yeah, she was ready. She was prepared. She was taking the necessary measures you need to take, unfortunately, when you're out in the wilderness.
Yeah, you just need to be safe.
Anything could happen, man. And, you know, I know a lot of people, like, with the gun thing, it's such a hard thing, you know, with nature and stuff. But regardless, like... You know, if something like this, especially what you're about to say, I already know, man. Yeah. A grizzly attack, might want a rifle. You might want something, because nope, because your little fingies ain't gonna do nothing against that bear, bro. That's all I'm saying.
Well, it's funny you say that, because I have things to say.
Oh, but did it eat her fingies off?
No.
Oh man, okay.
But in interesting details. Okay, so basically, first day she's there. She documents like some caribou.
Wow.
Yeah. Takes a bunch of pictures of the wildlife and the river bank and all this stuff. Nothing too crazy goes on the first day.
Sounds like a good day.
Yeah. Everything pretty much seemed fine until at night when she was in her mobile home cooking dinner. She starts feeling like a thumping on the outside of this mobile home.
Nah.
And she gets ready, like, so she looks out the window, and as she opens the window, she sees a grizzly standing outside. Immediately, I'm terrified in this moment. Can you imagine? And he's right there. Like,
Well, because you know it's there for you.
yeah.
You know it's not there for any other reason. Like, oh, okay, go on.
So overall, the bear like tried to like push on the thing and was like very curious, but overall wasn't very hostile, and for the most part didn't do anything that first night. Leaves sometime in the night. Second day seemed to go normal. Also nothing too crazy. No encounters at all. But on the third day, when she was spending some time relaxing, here it is. It's the it auto corrected my word to an incorrect word.
Nice.
Tojiak River, something like that. I'm sorry. I'll put up the
Close.
I'll put up the real word like right here for whatever river I'm talking about.
Right here.
But so yeah, I'm sorry, I lost my spot. But yeah, so she's spending some time relaxing by the river, and then when she goes back to her home and she starts cooking dinner again, she hears the thumping again. Mobile home starts shaking.
Wait, so she saw the grizzly bear and was not concerned enough to stop cooking dinner?
This is the third day.
Oh,
so
got it,
the
got it,
first
got
day
it.
she cooks dinner, thumps on the thing, and then she goes by a second whole day of nothing. So then on the third day she's cooking again, making dinner, and again this thumping starts happening.
Okay.
It's sort of like playing with her almost. Like I'm sure that the bear isn't actually like playing with her, but like she probably felt a bit more secure the second night when nothing happened.
Yeah. Like she wasn't thinking. Her guard was down. Her guard was down. She wasn't thinking.
When she checked to see if there were any bears though, and she like, I'm sorry. Yeah. So she basically wanted to check like what she was dealing with. When she thought that the coast was clear, she basically grabbed a rifle, walked outside to like assess what was going on, and pretty much after a few moments, quite like what's his name, Lagasa,
My man Bob
Lagasa, bear just starts diving at her, like just from the darkness, just straight at her. And she doesn't have a lot of time to react, and basically knocked her down, pushing the rifle away. It clawed at her torso.
Done.
And it went to strike at her face.
Done.
She tried to like stop it by like lunging her arms around and
arms. Done. Sorry.
The story's gonna get crazy. Okay,
it's not already crazy.
Basically, in the rustle and the fighting, and it was funny because you mentioned this, she actually, according to the story, manages to like hit the bear's eye or something in her like flailing, hits the bear's eye just enough for it to like be kind of disoriented and annoyed.
Yeah.
And so
more angry.
Yeah, pretty much.
Got it.
She actually like managed to. Okay, yeah, I just said that. Sorry. She gets up, grabs the rifle in her quick moment of like being able to, figure out what's going on, and she runs back into the mobile home. Are you okay?
Yeah.
All right. I'll keep going. As she's running back into the mobile home, she takes one shot, just like as a warning shot to try and scare the bear off. And it works. The bear runs away. So now she's in the mobile home. She doesn't have a lot of first aid, but she does have like a radio or a phone. Was it a radio? I'm not sure. Oh, it was her phone. So she tries to call because she still has connections to the people who she's doing this whole project with.
Okay, so I was gonna say, I was like,
yeah,
how is she gonna have service? But yeah. Okay.
But her phone broke because it was in her pocket when the bear attacked her, so she couldn't make the call.
Got it.
So She tended to her wounds like to the best of her ability with like the little like first aid kit stuff that she can. It's nothing that's going to like help her long term.
Yeah.
So she needs to get out of there as soon as she can. And this is where it gets wild because on the 4th day, she tries to check for a helicopter pickup because at this point,
Because she was only supposed to be there for 3 days.
3 days,
Yeah.
yes. So she's trying to check for a helicopter pickup. She brings her rifle with her. But while she's out,
No.
this bear attacks her
No
again.
way.
Pinning her down now on her stomach, clawing at her back, and even managed to bite her arm. And now she is like, I don't know how this woman is pressing on. I don't know, like, it's wild, right? She manages to, like, just barely, like, I don't think she lost hold of the rifle in this moment. I could be wrong, but, like, as she got attacked, I don't think she dropped it. So she tries to fire off, like, 2 more warning shots. But this time, the bear didn't scare as easily.
Bro was like, I know your tricks, lady.
I know your tricks. Somehow she manages to push through the pain, and according to the story, manages to do the same weird trick with the bear's eye or something. Like, I don't know, disorients it somehow. Manages to piss it off in a way where it's just kind of like, what the hell?
That is interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, and as she attacks the bear's eye and is super weak, she basically just runs in the mobile home thinking, I'm never coming out of here anymore. This is it for me.
Yeah, that's it. You are now living in this mobile home for the rest of your life.
Exactly. So now it's the 5th day. She doesn't have pretty much any medical equipment anymore.
She has no way to contact these people.
For some reason, these people haven't shown up. I'm assuming maybe like they were waiting for her call. Like maybe she didn't have to stay 3 days. Maybe she could have stayed longer. I don't know. But on this last day, she basically, and this is the craziest part of the story, right? With what little she could tend to, she tends to her wounds and basically goes outside again during the day. She shoots the flare up in hopes that that will signal them to come back, because that's basically her last hope, is this flare gun that she had.
Yeah.
And on that last day, before rescue had come for her, the bear comes back a 3rd time. I think just because at this point now it's like got a taste for her or a smell. Like it knows the territory.
Taste for it.
Well, what do you like? How are you gonna explain? Like it kind of knows now, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So she leaves the home, and for the 3rd time, this bear comes at her. But this time she doesn't waste any time. She just like bop 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 bop, like just shoots at it,
bro,
and actually manages to kill this bear. Before finally these helicopters do eventually arrive, because they did see the flare gun, and they pick her up, and she managed to basically barely pull through and survive this entire encounter.
Bro, what?
Yeah. So, with all that said, all I wanted to say about this was I watched this for like listening to this whole story for a while, and then at some point I like looked her up afterwards to find like more details and stuff about the story, and I couldn't find her name anywhere. And when I went back to the YouTube video, a lot of the people in the comments were like, this is bullcrap, there's no way, think about some of the story here. She's in a mobile home, but she needs a helicopter pickup. She shot a grizzly dead after being attacked twice. She disoriented it by picking at its eyes. I don't think this is a real story. But I didn't do great research, but I'm pretty sure this is not true. And I wanted you to feel the same way I did when I found out. So.
I mean, honestly, it does sound a little hard to believe.
It's tough.
First of all, just getting attacked by the same bear,
yeah,
like that many times is wild.
There were a lot of red flags, which I wasn't thinking about it when I first listened to it.
First of all, how do you get a mobile home in the middle of the forest?
Yeah, because the way this guy was describing it in the video I was watching, it really did just sound like a trailer. But like, and I was just like, oh, yeah, that's right. It doesn't make sense at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I mean,
I'm sorry to trick you, but I also
wow.
thought you told me to
I mean,
bring
it was a good story. It was a good story.
Yeah. So I thought it would be fun to bring that one. If nothing else, it was fun to try and listen to her sort of escape this drastic, really rageful bear. Like,
I was thinking she was just gonna die.
yeah, well,
I thought it was gonna be the end. I was like, oh, she's definitely dead. Like,
was there a point in the story where you were like, okay, come on? Was there, or were you just kind of going with it like I did the first time I heard it?
just the getting attacked multiple times.
For me,
Coming up 3 times.
3 times
I'm
is
like,
a lot.
wow.
I
could see the second.
Yeah, I
but
could
not the
almost believe
third.
the second one. For me, what did it was the fact that because I tried to word it a bit more realistically when I told you it, but when I heard the story, the way the guy described it was that she gouged at the bear's eyes, like actually like dug into the bear's eyes and managed to piss it off that way. And I was like,
Ain't no way that bear's letting your hand get that close to its face.
no way,
Like,
right?
Nah.
And, yeah, so either way,
I mean, it was a good story.
it was
a good
fun,
story.
and I appreciate you listening. That was some bear attacks, and hope you guys enjoyed my stories. So I have a little bit of a news segment today. Nothing special, nothing actually real world news wise, but kind of just a little fun update that I thought would be fun to share and to kind of call out.
Wow.
During the past week, Becca, my sister, who we have mentioned on the podcast before, graduated.
Yes.
So, woo!
Inserting some
just-
clapping.
Yeah, so it's nothing crazy, but you know, it's super impressive. Like, she can now officially call herself a professional writer, which is
Wow.
insane. So good for her, and I just wanted to shout her out.
Yeah.
Say-
Congrats to Becca.
Yeah.
Honestly, such a
So-
great achievement.
I'm proud.
I'm still in school, so you're doing great. You're doing great.
You're doing a good job.
You are striving right now.
But yeah, that's all I really had. I'm hoping that in the next coming episodes I'll start having some actual real news segments, but I've been very bad at looking them up. So look forward to next week's episode where I promise I'll have some real news, real worldly news. But that's it for now. So thank you for tuning in to Joey's news segment.
Well, all right, man. You ready to play a little national parks trivia game, dog?
I am ready, and I would like it to be known right off the bat, I am probably going to do horribly.
Don't worry. It's multiple choice.
Oh, thank God.
So
I'm still going to do
you might
terribly,
have a
but-
little bit of a chance.
Okay.
So we're getting this game off of the National Parks Conservation Association, just so no one yells at us. We're using their content, but it's educational. So
Heck yeah.
and it definitely relates to the woods. So let's dive in right here, bro. So my favorite one, which you should get right because I did list this on our outline. Which national park was one of the locations for Luke Skywalker's home planet of Tatooine?
Is there a multiple choice? What was the... Can you repeat? Which national park was used
yes. As a location for Tatooine. Okay.
Is this the one I
Is it?
know?
But yeah.
Oh,
This
is it
one's in
Death
your
Valley?
outline. Yeah. It's Death
See,
Valley.
This is how much I know.
We're trying to
I didn't
Death
know Valley
we're
was a
trying to
national park.
I was just trying to ease you into the
That's
game
fine.
before we started it,
But
but
I really gave you a sense of how this game's gonna go.
I mean, I knew that one without the game, so
I knew they used those pickle things for the blaster gun sounds. You remember that when we learned that on a field trip? Like the big pickle basins, where they're like the size of like one building. They would throw rocks at it, and when it would hit off the
Really?
thing, it would go. And so they used that and they warped it a little bit, and that was like the blasters in Star Wars.
interesting. For some reason I don't remember that.
Yeah. So
Man, All right. You know, you saved yourself. You saved yourself
guess.
with your little Star Wars fact, all right? All right, so this is going to be a real one.
Okay.
I'm going to give you choice out of 4.
Okay.
You have to get it right. If you don't get it right, then
Then what?
I don't know. Maybe we'll like blindfold you and send you into the middle of a forest and
record it.
find your way out, you know?
That'd be funny.
I'll give you a compass, so
That's nice.
hopefully that'll work.
I need to.
Maybe some water.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see if we can.
We'll see. All right, so you better win.
I'm
You
ready,
better
I'm
win this
ready.
game.
I'm
All
ready.
right. So, which was the first national park that was established for a purpose of protecting man-made structures? So basically, it was like a national park that is protecting old like structures that are like within it, like it's a protected like space.
Okay.
So you have a choice of these 4. You have National Mall and Memorial Parks. You have Fort Caroline National Memorial, New River Gorge, or Mesa Verde National Park.
Can you just list them to me very fast again, and I'll give you my answer.
Yeah. National Mall and Memorial Parks, Fort Caroline National Memorial, New River Gorge, Mesa Verde National Park.
It's definitely River Gorge.
It's not.
I meant Caroline. Carolina.
It's not.
This is the last one.
You're correct. It was Mesa Verde.
Hey!
Woo! All right. In 1906,
Oh, man.
my boy Theodore Roosevelt signed a bill that established a national park in southwestern Colorado to protect ancestral Pueblonian archaeological sites.
Okay.
I'm glad I didn't mess that name up, but yeah, Pueblonian.
Pueblonian.
Yeah, nice. So you got that one wrong, but it's okay. It's okay. You got like 4 more.
Okay.
You good?
Okay,
All right.
sure,
You got
sure.
5. You got 5 strong. 5 strong. All right.
Okay.
One wrong. All right. Which site is the world's first national park cave? Is it Oregon Caves National Monument and Preserve? Is it Mammoth Cave National Park? Is it Carlsbad Caverns National Park? Or is it Wind Cave National Park?
I want it to be Mammoth, but for some reason my brain thinks that that's wrong because it's my first answer. So I want to go with the...
Well, you want to go with Mammoth because you know it.
Yeah. So
You've been there,
that's kind of like
you
where my
know.
brain... That's why, because my brain is familiar with it. I want to go with the third option. What was the third?
Carlsbad Caverns?
Yeah.
Final answer?
Yes?
Your final answer is wrong.
Okay.
It was
Okay.
it was definitely Wind Cave National Park.
Dude. Okay. Like, I don't want to say that that's what I was going to pick genuinely.
Uh-huh.
I know.
Uh-huh.
But, like, I thought, okay.
So Wind Cave National Park is in South Dakota, and it became the country's 8th national park in 1903. So Wind Cave is a sacred site for many Native American tribes and is named for the gusts of wind that blow in and out of the natural entrance, changing direction
I've
based
heard
on
of this,
atmospheric pressure.
I have heard of this case. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Pretty interesting. I know. I kind of like learned a lot because I didn't really know much about like the national parks, you know?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I know about like I think kind of like all the forests and stuff more around us, but yeah, I mean, I didn't know quite a bit of these and I was like very surprised. I was like, all right. Okay.
All right, hit me with another
So
one.
we're on question 3 out of 5.
Yeah, so I got to get it right from here if I
Yeah.
want to do
You
it.
have to. You got to get at least 3 out of 5 right.
Okay.
So, no pressure.
Sure.
All right. Which of these national parks is the only park to bid... Oh, I'm so sorry. I can't read. Which of these national parks is the only park to host the Olympics? Is it Yosemite National Park? Is it Olympic National Park? Is it Rocky Mountain National Park? or is it Mississippi National River and Recreation Area? I can't even read all that. I'm just going to tell you right now it's not that one.
I was going to say, I'm immediately going to say it's not the fourth one.
Okay. Yeah, it's definitely not
I'm
the
having
fourth
the
one.
same problem with Yosemite, where I think my brain's only going there because it knows Yosemite.
Yeah.
But the problem is I feel like
Olympus is too easy.
So that makes my brain want to go with C.
Okay. That is Rocky Mountain National Park.
Read me the question one more time.
Which of these national parks is the only park to host the Olympic Games?
If it's Olympic and I'm wrong because I choose something else, I'm going to be pissed. I'll go Rocky. I meant Yosemite. Please don't say it's Olympic. Say it ain't so. If it's Mississippi.
It's Yosemite.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
your boy doesn't know enough about the woods and
the
national parks.
It was actually for skiing type of sports.
Oh,
because
okay.
there's the ski lodge. There's
Interesting.
Badger Pass Ski Lodge.
Oh.
Yeah. So it was up there, and let me see, what year is it? During the 1928 Olympic Games.
Really, 1928.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, dude, crazy. I mean, that's a piece of history that's literally, well, not right here, but I mean, it's here.
All right, I've just
I'll
been
give
playing,
you.
I've
I'll
just
give
been
you.
playing with you right now.
I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one.
I was just planning on holding out my wins towards the end. I'm planning on getting them right from this point on.
Okay, well, you've gotten 3 out of 5 wrong so far. So
Yeah, but it's the.
you got. Oh, I'm sorry, you got 3 out of 3 wrong so far. You have five, but you got two left. So
All right. Throw it at me.
Which national park site contains the most lighthouses? Is it A, Apostle Islands National Lakeshore? Is it B, Isle Royale National Park? Is it C, Point Reyes National Seashore? Or is it D, Cape Cod National Seashore? Think about it logically from the names. Houses the most lighthouses.
Read me the names again.
Apostle Islands National Lakeshore.
No.
Isle Royale National Park. Point Reyes National Seashore.
Maybe.
Cape Cod National Seashore.
It's got to be the last two. Cape Cod, final answer, buzzing in.
Your final answer is wrong.
I hate this so much.
Apostle Islands National Lakeshore.
The Apostle Islands one?
Think about it. Islands. There are multiple bodies of land you have to account for. Most amount of lighthouses. Yeah.
Okay.
And some are actually still in service today. Fun fact.
Interesting.
Yeah. And it's in Wisconsin.
All right. Well, I saved the best for last.
You have to get this one right.
I'm going to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are.
There's no doubt.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
I hope you're ready.
Okay.
Which national park site is furthest south? Is it A, National Park of American Samoa? B, Big Bend National Park? Is it C, Everglades National Park? Or is it D, Puahona Ohona? I'm so sorry.
Give me the first two again.
National Historic Park.
What are the first two?
National Park of American Samoa
No.
or Big Bend National Park or Everglades National Park or Puahona something National Historic Park.
D, final answer.
It was National Park of American Samoa. Hey. Dude, you were close. You got
I was like,
you got all 5 of them wrong. And one of them was on your outline. So I mean, you did really good. You did really good, man. I'm
Thank
really
you.
proud. And for that, I get to choose next week's episode.
Okay, that's fair. I understand.
All right. That was a good one.
It was great. So bringing it all back, we're kind of going to do some questions like we've been doing the last couple episodes.
It's been a pretty good format.
Yeah.
I like asking you some questions, get inside your little dome.
Yeah, I like it too. It's fun to kind of just contemplate and reflect and stuff like that. So I think we should start with a very big one, very important one to our podcast and to this whole thing we've created together as friends. Why a bear and a wolf?
You know, that's a good question, bro. Well, I've always grown up with like wolves kind of being a primary, I don't know, spirit animal. Like guide. I don't know. It's just always kind of carried over from people to people, and I guess now it has fallen upon me. And yeah.
Where did you first find your liking for? Like, you say it was always there, but like, what age did you really realize it?
Oh man, I would probably say, well, I had to do a science fair project when I was, I think, in 3rd grade, 2nd or 3rd grade. And I remember it was on animals, so life science and all that kind of stuff. And so we had to choose an animal and like, you know, do all these facts and stuff. I mean, to me, it was a lot of work, but like, it's probably like an hour of research, you know, and then putting everything on a poster board and presenting it.
Yeah.
But I chose a wolf, and probably because it was already pretty prominent within my household that we had like a lot of wolf things, like wolf. My mom's room used to be Native American like themed. The entire thing was. I don't know if you ever knew that.
I think I knew something about that.
Yeah, the whole thing used to be super themed. And part of that was there was a lot of wolf imagery and all that kind of stuff. And so growing up, I'd always seen wolves and all that kind of, you know, all that jazz, and decided, all right, yeah, I'll do it on wolves. And the more I researched them, the more I was like, oh, these are like really cool, like insanely intelligent animals, you know, like just crazy. And I enjoyed it so much that for my project, my mom got us tickets to go into a wolf sanctuary. And
that's right, I remember this story.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I got to go in there and I got to like feed them like meat like out of my hands, and they were like real wolves, and I'm like, this is crazy. Like I was like in 3rd grade, man. But I guess the part that solidified it like to me where, oh, this is it, was there was one wolf there that was just would go wild anytime I'd like pass the cage. Like anytime I'd like walk past, he would go like, you know, like kind of like whimper type of thing.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, that's crazy, because that's the alpha male of like this whole like group here, and he never does that for people, and you're a child, so like you know, you could be his meal, but like this fool's like crying for you to like be over here. So they let me into his cage, and I got
wildly irresponsible.
But yeah, and it like came and it like sat next to me, and ever since that I was like, well, this is it. And
that's so cool, dude. I never had quite the
I don't think you can really go to a bear enclosure and pet one.
No, it's not quite the same. I always had like little things growing up, like I had like bear claw necklaces and stuff like that. And
yeah,
there was one specific one I got when I went to a camp trip, like not like
you have a bear necklace that you're not even wearing.
I know, I don't have it on me. I'm so sorry, chat. I'm so disrespectful. But no, I remember there was a specific one that I got when I was camping. It was one of those like church camp things, and they had like a gift shop, and I just remember it was the first thing that stood out to me. And I don't know, there's always been a weird connection. I used to be afraid of them. I mean, I'm still afraid of them in the way you should be.
It's a healthy, respectfully.
But there was a point in my life when I was young where it was like an irrational fear, where like there would be a bear sighting from hundreds of miles away, and I'd hear about it, and I was like, it's gonna find me.
It is.
But
it's gonna hunt you down. It smells you.
I wish that I had something quite as special as you had, where like you've had that moment. But I think overall, I've just always sort of connected to the way they act, the way they think. I mean, as funny as that sounds, they're very protective of their own, and I feel like I'm very protective of the people I care about and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think I've just kind of connected on them that way.
Well, and that's so funny too, because that connection also goes with me as well. With like, I grew up an only child, so I don't know what it's like to really have the big family, like mama bear protecting the cubs type of thing. But with wolves, they go in packs and they travel in packs, and so it's really like, hey, like they're not really all my family, but they're the ones that I'm willing to die for.
Yeah.
You know, so I think it's like cool, like the comparison on like family for you, but really more
we're not
like
kidding when we say like we really do feel like a connection.
Yeah, it is very interesting.
It's
it is
very
interesting. Cool. Yeah. Oh my gosh. What a good question. I wonder who wrote that one. You know, no big deal. All right. Well, I got one for you.
Okay.
This one's not really as well, I mean, I guess it's deep, but not in that way. But we obviously have, I guess, established the fact that we do have some sort of connection with the woods. But do you believe that it's a possible spiritual connection when you're there? Do you feel like there's a part of you that almost kind of awakens when you kind of step into to an area like that, and you just kind of like, wow, like everything is alive and everything's living and breathing around me?
Yeah, dude. I mean, my entire life, I remember, because my dad took me camping growing up all the time. There are camping trips that I don't even remember because I was too young. No offense.
Makes sense. I was trying to figure out what you meant by that, and I was like, oh, don't have a dad.
I'm sorry.
Got it.
Anyway, so yeah, my dad used to take me on a lot of camping trips growing up, and we've done it all. We went trailer camping, tent camping, because of my mom, hotel camping. But and there was something about that feeling of like, as a kid. It's different a little now, but it started when I was a kid, when you would smell like the pine trees, and you could feel like the genuine freshness in the air, and that feeling of going fishing. And like, there's just something so freeing about it compared to being here. And I love
so depressing.
But it's true though. I love it here, and I love everything we do. And having all this technology is really cool, and it allows us to do all these things, especially for you, chat. But
we love you, chat.
But there is something so freeing about getting out there into the woods and just experiencing the real world, like the true world itself. And it's really hard to explain. It's different a little bit now that I'm older, because I've done that 1,000 times now. So it's not like that genuine, like, whoa, look at this. But it's still that feeling of just being like, it's kind of time for my escape. You know, this is where I can go to truly just calm my nerves. Like being able to just sit in the quiet, the quote unquote quiet in the woods, you know, where you hear birds or you hear running water. It's so peaceful. It's so,
or running bears.
That's true. But I've never run into a bear myself personally. The closest I've ever gotten was
I'd probably think it's
60, 70 feet away.
Probably think that you're its cub.
No.
You'd be like, her.
You'd be like,
her.
You'd be like, okay. Her. What about you? I mean, I would assume you kind of feel similar, right? About like feeling more open and free in the woods, having that connection to nature and that whole.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've become very anti, I guess, established home type. I don't know. I'd be so much happier being in the middle of the forest than anywhere else. I don't know how to describe it, and I don't know where it came from, because I mean, you've known me my whole life. I didn't care that much, I cared way more about like playing music than anything else, at venues. And now it's like, I don't know what it is to being like drawn somewhere or feeling so like at home stereotypically, it just feels so like I'm meant to be here versus anywhere else, So yeah, I think my soul calls me to that,
Sure.
So yeah, I would definitely say it's a spiritual experience probably every single time I go. I mean, even just going to Heart Rock, or going to any other trails that we've ever been to. I just get so not emotional, but just like so like thankful, just like wow, like
it's a different kind
we're
of
so
emotion.
small, but we're so important at the same time, and it's just like everything in life, I feel. I mean, even down to the smallest plant. I mean, you get down to grass, you think, oh, well, we walk on it every day, you trample over it, all this kind of stuff. It's there. It's everywhere. But without grass, animals don't feed that we eat every day on a daily basis, And, something so minuscule is playing such a significant part in this thing we call life, So I just think it's such a freeing experience to go out there and live in it.
Yeah, man. It's cool. It really is. There's something totally. There's no words. There really isn't.
Yeah,
and there's no way to truly describe that feeling you get inside when you're out there.
Yeah, and especially like even like taking like really long hikes and like all this kind of stuff too. Like you get all tired, you're like all worn down, beaten down, and you get to the top and you're like, whoa, like.
Yeah.
This is it. Like, this is where I'm meant to be at, And it's just so crazy. Just so crazy.
Yeah. Well, let's do this last question together. A little rapid fire one before we say goodbye. Yeah. What are we taking into the woods? And how long would we last?
Baby boy.
What are some quick fire items?
Quick fire items?
But, hold on. Quick fire items you can only fit in one backpack. So
we're not doing 10. We're just doing...
You could do tarp, rope, compass, knife.
Okay.
List off anytime, All
right.
These are mine so far.
Oh, well.
Let's just go back and forth. You can have them too.
All right. Well, for sure.
Let's do this together.
Okay, an axe.
Axe is good.
Definitely.
Axe is good.
Fire starter.
Ooh, fire starter's important, yeah. Water filter.
Water filter. Oh, yep. For sure. Big canvas tarp.
Yeah.
Specifically canvas. Mm-hmm. Because then you can multi-use that.
Yeah.
Like if it's big enough, you can stack your small sticks and logs and all that kind of stuff on there, drag it, all that kind of stuff. Rain. You can use it as, laying down. That's your pad, keeping you dry. I would say, food for sure.
True.
Oh, bow and arrow. Bow and arrow.
Bow and arrow is a good one. Yeah, you can take a bow and arrow. How many arrows can you fit in this quick fire pack?
Well, I would say a quiver.
Quiver.
So what? That's just like 10 to 15.
Probably 10, I would imagine.
Yeah. And then you can make the rest, I guess.
Yeah.
Rope.
Rope is good. Yeah.
For sure, rope.
What kind of knives have we said? Did we say a specific knife?
Say K-bar.
K-bars, yeah.
A good bushcrafting knife. Just a very, like a full tang.
Would it be helpful to have just like a, what are they called? I'm blanking on the name.
Like a multi-tool? Yeah. I would say, yeah.
That way
probably need a multi-tool and like, a med kit.
Oh my God, how we forget medkit? Yeah, medkit is important. That's very true. All right. With all these items.
Flashlights.
Oh my God. Well, yeah, but how long is that going to last? Because even if you brought batteries, depending on how long.
Solar charging.
Because that's smart. That's smart. That's a good point.
They got those on Amazon, bro.
All right, with all these things that we've packed so far, how long are we both lasting?
Well, you said compass and stuff too.
Yeah, I said compass.
Yeah, all that stuff is a necessity. How much time do I get to prep? It's one thing making a go bag and leaving. It's another thing having a go bag but
4
planning.
months.
4 months? Oh. Easily. Like I would say 2 years max.
Really? Okay. But this is 4
With that
months.
with that much planning?
Sure.
Yes.
But this is 4 months without anything before the 4 months. Like
That's
we've never
4
trained
months,
before in our lives.
Yeah, but that's 4 months of like dedicated, like I'm talking
Yeah,
like
but
no
dog, think
job,
about
no
the people
anything. You're just
alone.
like
they trained for years and they go down after 100 days.
Hey, we read Brian's Winter, didn't we?
I don't remember that
We're
book
right.
enough to know what happened.
Bro was in a plane crash and just
Yeah.
made it. He just did it. He was like, all right, I guess this
It's
is
a
my life.
fictional novel.
My life is a movie. What's your point?
Okay.
I could say 2 years.
I think
4 months, solid planning, nothing else but planning. I could
you're
become
making me mad because I feel like now I want to say more than 2 years out of spite,
Really?
but I don't think that's accurate. I think
I would say most realistic max time would be 2 years.
max time for me, because I'm also much lazier than you. I would probably go down.
That is also true as far as like technology wise.
I wouldn't need the
I
technology.
don't need it.
It would be more
I
about
don't-
like the boredom. And it's not about technology boredom. It's about like when you're sitting there. It would be different if you and I were together in this situation,
Yeah,
but if we're
yeah.
both alone,
Oh well, if we're
after
alone,
a
then
while-
I would probably cut my time down to a year.
a year. Okay, that makes
Now
more
if we're
sense.
together,
Yeah, okay.
because we
Together-
could get stuff done.
Oh, okay.
And because that's what I was
yeah.
thinking. That's what I was. Well, because
okay.
you said we were packing together.
True. Well, yeah.
So that's why I'm like, oh, well, I don't need a compass. I don't need any of that because
Yeah.
like you have it. Like I don't.
Okay, yes.
Coleman Grill.
Coleman Grill
propane.
is nice, but I don't think we should have that over certain other items.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
We should have a fishing kit,
Fishing kit would be
like
smart.
fishing
We
line
didn't do
and all
anything
that.
for fish,
like,
yeah.
fish.
Hooks.
Well,
String.
well, I said string and rope.
Did you say
Well, I
string?
said rope, but you can.
Yeah, but you're not gonna fish with a.
Well, no, because you can tear it apart. You can tear because it's.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, you can
That's
tear it
true.
apart
See,
and then
this
use
is-
the fibers on the inside.
All right, I
That's
give
one.
myself 6 months. Because clearly,
Bro is thinking harder, not smarter.
yeah,
Oh man, that
Well,
one. I mean,
that was good. I
that's
think
facts.
that's fun. I'm good if you are, man. This is a good place to end. You enjoyed? Did we prove to you guys
I think
that?
we finally got a good episode out of just like woods themed.
Yeah, I hope you
like-
guys enjoyed the Woodsmen podcast. We've been your hosts, Joey Rucker.
And Brent Murphy. And later, Gators. The Woodsman Podcast is actively reading and responding to anything and everything on Instagram and our email. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns about the show, you can email us at thewoodsmanpod@gmail.com. Make sure to keep up with all things Woodsman related on Instagram at WoodsmanPod. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow the Woodsman Podcast with video exclusively on YouTube and Patreon. Make sure to follow our personal accounts at Strange Kids and Piemaster J on all platforms.
The Woodsman podcast is co-produced by Brent Murphy and Joey Rucker.
Engineered by Brent Murphy and edited by Joey Rucker.
Additional editing by Brent Murphy and blood, sweat, and tears by the both of us.
Any additional content by the Woodsman Podcast may not be used without our permission. Copyright the Woodsman Podcast. And remember, there's nothing scarier than a bear in your closet.